Yeah. So of course, here's something that we don't approve of. While these people did not really garbage us early on, we don't actually very like piling very much.
Yeah, it's one of the things that are like 2v2's bullshit, and it's sort of the same, if you think about it, it's sort of the same as cheese. It's something you do that takes a lot more skill to hold off than to pull off, and we don't like that.
No. So of course they've seen the Widow Mine, and there's like some changes being dropped. I slowed it down to normal just because I don't want to kill your friend, and it's a very exciting battle that happens. Of course, we have very different meanings of exciting.
I'm going to excuse your one use of exciting because this one actually is funny.
Anyway, so we've got the career happening on the Widow Mine. The burrow happens quickly. Sudden loss of interceptors, followed by a massive amount of splash damage being dealt on the ultimate.
Templars did like absolutely nothing in this. I mean, they stormed them, but I think that storm actually killed the Ultralisk. And I don't know how many Templar exactly got sent back to HierarchARiA University, but Templar count looks to be about half of what it used to be. Purple does have some Ultralisks.
They do tend to, for some reason, seem to turn around and go focusing out the hatchery again, despite the fact that there is a Terran gate much more accessible.
Yeah, fun fact is if you fungal down the interceptors, then they will not be attacking, so essentially it disables the carriers. So many different things tend to fuck up carriers at this point. Yes, a large group of carriers is still very hard to deal with, but there is a lot of ways to deal with carriers. Fungal growth, I think if you do Raven Seeker missiles, it also does well. Mines do extremely well against carriers. If
at the moment, there are 23 mines being made at this time, so, you know, the Ling run by is going to do very well, just because the fact that there's planetaries and tanks basically everywhere.
So they ran away from the tanks into the planetaries. And more tanks.
So of course we've got the, this is the bad part about careers. You know, they follow us.
Yeah, so if the career actually pulls away, then you'll be losing more than just the interceptors.
One Templar got sent back to HierarchARiA University. And this is a very bad micro on their part.
I mean, a lack of any micro happening at all. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. We can see red actually being ahead. Blue is actually, well, red being ahead in the units lost, which is not...
So behind.
Yeah. It's behind in the game, it's bad, but ahead in the unit lost numbers. I think they're not exactly sure what's happened to the mines. He kept on face checking the mines, seeing like, is the mines up, is the mines up, and fun fact is Widow mines are always up. Because their cooldown is basically non-existent.
So, the Widow mines have been split into two groups, unintentionally of course, because, you know, I don't micro. So we got two of the one group might have bird over there, and one group headed over to cut them off or something. We've also got some niggling going on here, but it doesn't matter. So, burrow the Widow mine, and then unburrow the Widow again, and chase what's left of the very dented Golden Armada back.
I think if you watch our stuff, then you would know it does happen a lot that Widow mines chase the high-tech airships back to HierarchARiA.
So there were bits everywhere, I hope you got that.
Yeah, I did get that.
We've got one Garbalisk left to one career left. Of course, we've got this happening as well.
And there's a one really badly rallied carrier who just went and lost its life to HierarchARiA again, or to mines.
Yep.
It's always funny what chases around Protoss' expensive ships that's supposed to be kilometers big.
Yeah.
Like, they get chased away by guys with guns, which basically is just a guy handed some guns and drugs. They get chased away by mines, they get chased away by, like, tiny Terran ships.
Yeah, it's depressing. Anyway, so we've got Ling being annoying, preventing any sort of mining going on here. First, Azrael seems to be kind of running low on resources. But of course, that doesn't deter him from actually building more factories and more mines because, you know, they're basically free at this point.
Mines actually cost, fun fact, as much as roaches, and if you see how much the Faunal spams roaches, how much Zerg players in general spam roaches, then you will know how much mines don't cost anything.
We'll know how much more damage they do.
Yeah. So this is about the extent of our piling in 2v2s. If there exists a Terran player, then sometimes we will call for a scan, but we don't do any more piling more than that because we're respectable.
We meet up to do battles together.
Yeah, but we do battles because it happens to be Like, our armies happen to be there. We don't sort of like play around like piling.
A lot of Zerg stuff moving into this corner. We've got a shit ton of Overseers, some Infestors as well for some reason. Actually, Infestors deal with mines pretty well, but you have to use them very carefully.
They do deal with mines well, but well in the sense that it's better than anything else. Yep. They still take 3 full fungals to take down a mine, which isn't exactly ideal.
Yeah, but it's better than 2 storms.
3 storms, I think. Is it 3 storms? How much health do they have?
90.
Yeah, 2 storms does 80 damage.
No, storm does 40. Sorry, storm does 80 damage.
No, storm does 40 damage.
What are you talking about? A storm? It does 80.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, nothing seems to die under a storm, so I don't know.
That's because they're shit.
It's been a while since I played this game. At any sort of serious level.
So we've got the drones tanking for the lanes.
We got the drones. We got the drones tanking for the lings, tanking for the big lings. When really you want the big lings tanking for the small lings, which does a little bit more damage if this was wings, and the big lings didn't do flat damage because in wings they did flat damage plus extra versus armored, and I got buffed to just pure flat damage against all targets in
anyway.
HUDs.
So they've got very upgraded interceptors with about, carriers with like 4 observers, so basically almost 1 per carrier here.
Fun fact here is that they did not upgrade shields because their shields are going to get taken down anyways.
I don't think that's the reason. I think it is for not.
Yeah, and also shields tends to be expensive.
Yeah,
can we put that back down to 1 times?
Yeah, I'm gonna slow it down again. So of course we got.
You can put it on faster. You can't. You don't have to slow it down to normal.
They've got half of them burrowed over here, and I think they've seen it because there probably wasn't overs. There probably wasn't intercept.
Except Portas has no patience, so even though they were fungal down, mine sort of did pay for themselves.
In terms of carrier careering, yes.
Yeah.
Dent to the carriers very harshly. And then up here we're losing major frames because explosion! Yay! That's why we play this game.
I actually think a lot of your potters went down due to mines. I should have probably paid attention to those, but a lot of carriers also got dented in that.
Yeah, carriers are surprisingly difficult to get rid of with mines on maps with a lot of platforms like this. For example, a carrier can sit here and it's kind of just micro back and forth here. It's annoying.
Yeah, you kind of need something long range to deal with them, like Tempests, like Vikings to a certain extent. Although Vikings do sort of lose if carriers do lock onto them.
Yep.
The carriers also have the Voider mechanics. I'm not sure if they do. I'm fairly certain that they do, where after they lock on, they have a bit more range before the interceptors come back.
Yeah, they go from it's like a 9 lock-on range to like 14 speed range.
That really becomes a joke after.
So of course we get the observer targeted down because we don't want any more observing going on for the mines. As the sacrifice is basically all the income. We've also got a bunch of mines over here, getting some of them down and then getting full and then going all the list. Makes literally no sense. We've also got turrets going over here. Wow. Production, Zerg is making nothing, neither Zerg is making anything. There's 31 mines on the way as well, along with 4 carriers. Unit tab shows 11 carriers, wow, that's a lot.
For some reason that clump looks like it's more than 11 carriers at this point. Zerg is down to about a small handful of Ultralisks with some Infestors, so I guess I should be proud of these people for remembering Infestors exist.
Massive career about to happen here.
Yep.
Very nice explosion, very pretty. Of course, casts are basically a Widow Mine APF, because, they don't actually have to get within range to kill mine.
I guess to a certain extent, Kests are the counter to mines, but Kest on the other hand does very, very little damage DPS. Also, their high base damage means they do waste a little bit of damage on the mines. These things do 39 damage. Yes, I do mean high base damage. And it's actually funny because I think their detection ran out after they didn't have detection, so the mines actually burrowed in time and all the Kest shots sort of went to shit.
Fortunately, these didn't burrow in time, but they all went to dying.
Yeah. Over here you got my patented Ultralisk Karis.
Yes, of course. nibbling down, well, probably what is...
And this is like the most expensive watch of the watchtowers ever.
Well, it's better they sit there and they get killed by the carrier. So, I don't know what was going on up north, or up in the top part of the map, because I was busy dealing with these. Trying to deal with these to keep them from to stop them from sneaking around and breaking our base.
And really, at this point, what we want to do is it sort of becomes a 1v1 scenario where you're trying to control each one's expansions. Where we're very lucky that this game didn't turn into a trash fest like most of our other games that sort of got cut off. That's kind of why we have lack of content at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, we're very, very lucky that it didn't turn into that.
And it's systems where bad base building is kind of... I really like watching this. Because the mines are streaming in one by one. It's kind of really hard to have a wave of them coming in. Of course, it's Kess Terra that's really playing.
I mean, Kess, if you leave them alone, they will eventually take down just about anything. Fun fact is, Kess don't actually deal extra damage against buildings and when they're flying up. So they're somehow not tagged as massive.
So of course, we've got a lot of defensive marines going on over here, as well as, the Protoss trying desperately to make something of the carriers that he's currently trading as income for. He's got 125 minerals left, but he's basically...
Here we got carriers flying into Tirats. Not exactly a good thing considering how much DPS the Tirats put out. Even if the Infestors weren't there, they would have been fine. See, Infested Terrans actually getting blown up by tanks. That's sort of something. Infested Terrans got way too many nerfs in my opinion. I don't really think they deserve that, although I have never tried to pull out Destiny's Infestor build against Protoss myself. It's just sort of something that I heard happened, and it's supposed to be overpowered.
Of course, despite them having 14 carriers, they only have 57 interceptors because they've been careered half to death. There's no income going out for Protoss at the moment. So basically every career that happens makes it easier.
I honestly think Protoss doesn't have an answer to mines because if you do carriers, then it'll erase all your minerals, and if you're saying that you can use the gas if you don't make interceptors, well, Archons are made of mostly shields, and guess what does a lot of damage to shields?
I mean, they can use Colossus. Somebody said it would be very efficient, but they could.
I guess.
They've got a whole crap ton of Cure Potters. 22 Cure Potters, not just one left. Facing off against a really big Protoss army. I mean, yeah. It would be more intimidating if there were more minerals. Maybe they should have shared minerals. Probably not.
I just love how I can highlight the mines and I can highlight the Protoss air units. How there's more Protoss air units than mines, and the Protoss air units are running away from the mines.
Basically. I mean, I don't know what the point of killing off individually exhausted geysers is. We've got the Infestors here. Oh no, it got caught. What shall they do now? And then they brought the other ones back, and they all got caught as well. Of course, the carriers earlier. That was very impressive. It doesn't show how many interceptors there are. I don't think there are any left.
Oh, there goes all the carriers.
Now there were 7 carriers.
Well, actually, there goes half the carriers.
Only
the problem is, at this point, there's no more interceptors. All the interceptors have been careered. So these Cure Potters are much, much stronger than what you would normally expect out of Cure Potters. So of course we got the Ling garbage going on here. We scanned to make sure that indeed there were Lings. At this point though, drones, not exactly the most important thing. Yes, it is important, but keep in mind we're also keeping their expansion count down. If we take a look at the bottom expansion over here, we haven't really taken this, but they're not really in a position to sort of push us out of this. Azrael, on the other hand, started mining, or sort of can start mining. There we go, the Yays started mining on their expansion, so any minerals they take will be less interceptors for them, will be less units, and if we do decide to smash buildings, will be less pylons for the Protoss.
This orbital was originally started over here, so it's their own fault for, breaking my base where I wouldn't belong. So we've got this huge line of mines, which,
We got a line of mines and we got a line of long-range mining.
So from this point on, I think their game basically just went downhill for them. We've got the Infestors up here. Maybe they'll do something with these Infestors. As far as I can tell, Protoss has 0 minerals and 975 gas. They should just be making your high Templar for some reason.
I don't know. Are there any carriers on the map right now for blue?
There are no carriers. Protoss only has 28 probes and 7 high Templars.
So he's choosing to do high Templar as opposed to making a Nexus. I guess the other Nexus is close enough, and he's got enough probes on it that, like... I mean, technically there's only 2 patches left, so...
This is true.
It's not really that much.
I mean, this is what happens when you get mined out. So of course they got purple late Harrison again. But the big link gets them all a hug. Kind of deep. This is as he'll be cocky and streaming his mines into the base because he wants to kill the Overlords, but they're hiding over here. Which is unfortunate. They chased the High Templar into the corner, but there was a cannon there, so they ran away.
And the Ultralisk gave the Infestors a hug. A lot of Infestors did go down. Those are actually full energy Infestors, so it's kind of not fun about those. Although a lot of mines did get fungled over there, I think the Infestors also went down. Infestors are actually surprisingly still alive. Those Infestors definitely pay for themselves with the fungals, getting rid of a field full of mines. Now you might think that a field full of mines does not take as much minerals, but if you think about it, nothing else really can take down a field full of mines.
You've got Colossus, you've got more mines, that's about it, really. They've got the ultimate terrorists going on over here at my expansion.
They finally found that expansion, so now it's gonna lift. Now we got 3 Ultralisks against 2 Ultralisks. I keep in mind that Ultralisk does splash damage, so in this kind of battles, it's not really about 3 Ultralisks beating 2 Ultralisks really, really well. It just happens to, like, slightly beat the Ultralisks.
Yeah, all in all, it was a pretty good game in promotion for a promotion game to Diamond.
Although it is a little bit more on the try-hard side than I would have liked.
Yeah, but it's better than having the trash, which neither of us would have liked.
Yeah, I definitely would agree to that. So yeah, send your replays into whatever our email is.
One more step closer to the GM level.
Yes, we're one more step closer to the GM, but we will not stop BMing if we do get there.